Hi everyone, welcome to Practical Mystic. I am Carol. Today I wish to share with you another tarot, let's say worksheet. These are individual pages that you can put in like a 3-ring binder to keep track of. I'm a strong believer in keeping a tarot journal because there's so much to get from going back, whether it's a week from now or years from now, to see the responses that you logged in, the state of mind, where you were on your journey of self-awareness, in learning the tarot even. Tarot journaling is a wonderful way to get acquainted on a very personal way with the cards. So let me share with you this particular worksheet for your tarot journal. And I have some example questions. As I said earlier, it's just one question and you will be taking out one card. Of course, you will date it. You will write the card name down. And if it is upright or reverse, if you do reverse meanings. Now, here are some examples. What from my past do I need to release now? What am I in denial of? And how can I move out of denial? What is stopping me from moving forward today? Here are some how questions. How do I sabotage my happiness? How do I release a negative habit? How can I let go of, you might say, fear? You might say a relationship. You might say anger. Just fill in the blank. What's on your mind today? And then write that question in this one card journal for today. And then see what the tarot has to say. Next, we have, where am I needing to place my attention on? Well, if you're like me, we're so busy being busy that sometimes we don't see, it doesn't come to our attention. We're busy focusing on other things, but the tarot can bring us right back to the present moment if we ask it. And that's why I think this is a very important question to consult the tarot with is, what am I needing to place my attention on? Where do I waste my time? That's another great question. Where does my relationship with blank need improvement? Now here again you would fill in the blank. Where does my relationship with my partner, with my children, my relationship with myself may need improvement? My relationship with the people at my work, my relationship to my job, am I still enthused about it? Is it still something I want to pursue and give all my energy to, or is there something else that's calling me? So here I leave it up again to your discretion on what you would like to fill in. So let's go ahead and do a mock reading. I always like to do and share that with you. And let's go ahead and take the first example. What from my past do I need to release now? Okay, well, what I like to do when I do these one questions is I like to do the fan spread because I feel like I'll allow my unconscious to get involved. And what I'm going to do right now is get still, get grounded, get quiet, and just repeat that question in my mind, which is, what from my past do I need to release now? Okay, so let's go ahead and do a fan spread. And I'm going to bump the camera again. I'm hoping it didn't make a lot of noise. Let's put these where you can see them. All right. I do rub my hands together to neutralize them. And then with my left hand, because that is my hand where I receive unconscious information, it is my feminine side, I slowly go over the fan where, oh, there's a lot of energy right there. But I double check, I continue on to make sure there isn't a stronger pull or tingling. And there isn't. I'm going to go right back there. It's right here. So let's see what the card for today is for what from my past do I need to release now? And it is the Eight of Swords. All right. Now, how would I read that card? Well, the first thing that I would do is to look at the Eight of Swords as what it represents. Yes, this is the Rider-Waite deck, but let's say we were doing a Marseille deck. That Marseille deck would only show us 8 swords aligned in open air. So I feel like understanding the numerology of the suit helps us a great deal. The number 8 is a number that relates to the planet Saturn. It is also a dual energy. It is, no matter how you make the number 8, it is always correct. It doesn't have an upside or a downside. And if you put it on its side, we know it's the infinity sign. So there's a great amount of power back and forth with the number 8. There's the duality of it. It really blends in the positive and the negative, and the 8 where it meets in the center is your action point. 8 is also an emotional number, and I look at that and say, wow, okay, so it's an emotional number, and my suit is the swords, which is the element air, which is an intellectual energy. So I have an emotional, intellectual energy here in this card, and the background depicts really a lack of energy. There is stagnation in the whole image, other than we do have this beautiful castle on the right-hand side with a red roof. Red is always passion, desire, action. It is male-oriented, but I've left that behind me because I've now gone to this point. So, to answer my question, what from my past do I need to release now, understanding that it has to do with the astrological planet Saturn, which is known as the taskmaker, I emotionally have not been able to, let's say, assimilate, understand the lesson that was brought to me. Okay, so how do we get more clarification on the lesson that was brought to me? We look at the way the swords are divided. On her right-hand side, there are 5 swords. So understanding what the 5 of swords indicates also gives me clarity of what was not addressed. Now, the 5 has to do with variety and choices. So in the past, I've made some choices that haven't worked for me, even though I may have thought that they would. Then we go here to her left, and then we have the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords has to do with the past, because if you remember the card, it is 3 swords piercing a heart, which brings in the emotion, where on my left, I have not healed that. So right now, what I need to do to release the past is mentally seeing that it serves me no purpose and that I've been my own worst enemy, where I am tied to this energy, to this thinking pattern, and it's up to me to step out of this emotion. And if you really look, both of her feet are in the water, so she may be unaware it is the unconscious. But because we have addressed this today at the 8 level, knowing that there is a lesson here to be learned, and I do have the power within me at the 8 level, then I have to look at my emotional anger, my emotional regrets, maybe my hostility, maybe my unresolved issues with someone. Maybe I haven't forgiven them and I justify them by my thoughts. I really need to let all that go if I want to turn around, use the power of the 8 that's going to assure me that once I balance this, and again, what I said earlier, where that number 8 comes in the center is the point of action. It just made me think of Louise Hayes when she tells us that the point of power is always in the present. So today, this is what I need to ask myself. What negative emotion is it that I need to let go of? And in my mind, I could be harboring or using self-pity and some sort of denial that I justify what is happening around me and release this emotion. Because when we work with the chakras, I had done a video earlier. When we see swords, that has to do with the air element, and it has to do with the 4th chakra. And basically, she seems to have a part of this binding around her heart chakra. So it is really blocking off